All righty, Angry Bears Fan Podcast, episode 68. Tom just reminded me on the heels rookie minicamp in a week. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Slow news week. Um, just a little more Caleb making his rounds, Ryan Poles making his rounds, people talking. Caleb's really doing well, I think, making himself very personable, likable, and
Yeah, him
dispelling
and
all the diva rumors.
him and Keenan Allen and a couple of the other guys were at the Cubs game today.
Yeah.
Um, kind of one thing I did want to bring up today was something that you had mentioned about prior to the Bears drafting Caleb Williams is how the locker room would react trading Justin Fields and everything, and honestly, it seems just fine. I know that was a big topic of discussion for you. Um, and Jalen Johnson cleared the air with Caleb Williams about his Hollywood comments. He said he spoke to him about that and everything else like that. And Caleb had all the right things to say. The locker room, Demarcus Walker posted a video on Twitter of his reaction when the Bears drafted Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. There's a lot of hype around this Bears team right now, and I think it's starting to rub off. There's just a different vibe, I
Yeah.
guess, going into this year as there was the last couple of years. Of course, it's always exciting when you have a new quarterback coming in and everything else like that. But for anybody who thought that the locker room was just going to be shattered because the Bears traded Justin Fields and drafted Caleb, doesn't look like it. I know
I don't
we
know
were
if
on
I thought it
different
was going to
sides
be
of
shattered. I just think I always, again, like I don't know how it's going to work out. I just always thought like I thought it was bad karma to like when this is all happening, like to dump Justin, like be like, all right, you're the one fucking thing that's not working. We're gonna keep everybody else, and you're the fucking thing that's wrong. That's part I didn't like about it. And yeah, I didn't think it would go so well. I think Keenan Allen joining as well kind of helped because then there was like two new guys that everybody's kind of got to get to know and things like that. But I mean, we'll see. DJ Moore, they run out running routes, doing all those things. He said Caleb has dispelled the diva rumors, and I mean, it wasn't just us. I mean, these guys watch TV too. They're on social media too. So some of them, like you said, Jalen made the Hollywood comments. Some of them had some things, and Justin was the opposite of Hollywood. So um, it was a for concern for everybody. But I think he's dispelled that. Myself, everybody else. He seems like a nice kid. Seems more down to earth than we were led on to believe as people who aren't inside of his circle. And like I said, I have no problem admitting that I was got caught up in that as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit more news too. Stadium. So JB Pritzker pretty much said that the Bears, $5 billion stadium plan is a non-starter. Um, So of course, that kind of hits a little bit of a brick wall there. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know too much about, politics and how the taxes and everything else works, what they're the funding, how that all that shit works. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I do. Um, but design wise, it does look like a nice stadium. I'm assuming they were coming to the state for money for some state funding, and JB Pritzker was like, no. Which my whole thing on it is I don't understand why they didn't want to just outright own their stadium anyway. I understand you're going to get some money from, the McCaskey family. You're going to get some money from the NFL. The NFL is going to pitch in. They always do when a new stadium gets built. So I don't know how much money they were asking from the state. Um, but just like the city of Chicago with the mayor in terms of popularity points, this might be something that Governor Pritzker takes a look at and is like, well, you know, I gotta score some brownie points with the voters of Illinois because if God forbid if you piss off the Chicago Bears and there's even remotely rumors of them going anywhere, then you're just gonna run yourself into. I mean, it'll never happen, but of course, you got people who talk and everything else like that. So I'd be interested to kind of see what the politics of this is, how this is all going to play out because Kevin Warren did say he wanted the stadium to be built and open by 2028, and it doesn't look like that
No
timeline is
way
going
at this
to.
point.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that timeline is going to happen. You had mentioned there's not a lot of news. Ryan Poles made his rounds. He went on the Pat McAfee show. He went on Waddle and Sylvie. He was talking a little bit just about his mindset when he drafted a punter in the fourth round, and how excited he was about the Roma Dunze pick, and how Ian Cunningham had to talk him out of trading up for Roma Dunze. One of the biggest dominoes to fall, he said, was Malik Neighbors being taken by New York. So they kind of felt a little bit more comfortable after that domino fell. He also said that he had some offers to trade down, and that if Roma Dunze wasn't there, they probably would have traded down. There was a couple of people that had called. He said he was not gonna, go down too far. So they, probably would have gotten the first defender off the board if that were the case, if somebody were to come up. But just hearing Ryan Poles talk and just, hearing about the process and everything else like that, I'm excited for it. I really, really hope, and I know George McCaskey doesn't want to do it, but the NFL wants it, the fans want it. And it's not just the local fans, it's the national fans that want it.
Oh yeah.
They need to do Hard Knocks. They absolutely need to do it. It's a gold mine
I think
opportunity.
it'll be great. Caleb's really goofy. He gives me that vibe where I think it'll be good TV. Um, so I think the Bears should do it. We need the. I don't know if I'd say we need the notoriety or the, because I think there's a lot of pressure going into this season. So we will see. Before we get too far, the one thing I didn't like that Poe said throughout all this, I like the draft stuff. I kind of like. Um, I didn't get like what you said. He was like, "Oh, neighbors." So like he liked Adunze better than neighbors.
Yeah, Roma
Oh,
Dunze was their number one on the board.
even over
Well,
Harrison Jr. Not over
no,
here.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. If you're talking about a Dunze and Neighbors, I think he had a Dunze over Neighbors, but he's not the only one that thought that. There is plenty of people out there that had Neighbors and a Dunze interchangeable. Um, a lot of people are putting, and I don't like these NFL comps. I don't. I don't like the comps with rookies, because I feel like they're unobtainable. You know what I'm saying? Like the Caleb comp to Patrick Mahomes, and people are comping Roma Dunze to Larry Fitzgerald. And I feel that's unfair because Larry Fitzgerald's one of the greatest receivers who's ever lived. Just you talk about consistency. Larry Fitzgerald was consistent. Um,
He was
I do see
better in
some
college
similar
too.
traits. He does have the size. He's got some big hands. He's got the good footwork. The only problem is that he's not a polished route runner. But you also have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, who are two of the best route runners in the entire league. And I feel like if you're going to get a wide receiver who has everything else, but just needs to work on the route tree and just crisping up that route tree a little bit, there's no two other better people in the league to teach him how to do that than
That I
DJ
agree.
Moore and Keenan Allen. And then on top of that, we've played on teams. Competition, right? You have competition there. DJ Moore is a very competitive dude. Keenan Allen's a very competitive dude. I'm assuming Roma Dunze is the same way. I could see a little bit of a friendly competition going on. Roma Dunze doesn't seem like he's that typical wide receiver diva. You know what I'm saying? Malik
No.
Neighbors kind of does a little bit,
Oh yeah.
but Roma Dunze kind of seems like he's more of a down to earth, kind of like a DJ Moore type of personality. And that's what you want. And I can honestly see this working out in terms of benefit for the Bears tenfold, especially with Caleb Williams and developing. And like I was saying before, Keenan Allen doesn't necessarily have the best track record of staying healthy over the course of the last few seasons. Plus, there's still no extension talks. Ryan Pace, I almost said Ryan Pace. Ryan Poles did say that there's no extension talks or anything going on right now. They're gonna let the season play out and everything else like that. So Keenan Allen could very well just be a one and done. And that's why it was important to draft Roma Dunze, because even if you get Keenan Allen hurt or DJ Moore gets hurt or somebody gets hurt, you still have your two wideouts. Plus, you have Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, and DeAndre Swift. I think the DeAndre Swift thing is very underrated. I know a lot of people thought that the Bears spent a lot of money on a running back, and I agree that price tag was probably a little high, but I also feel like it's a little bit of an underrated signing because DeAndre Swift is a very good receiving back out of the backfield. He always has been.
I
Um,
think he's very good. I will say it's overpriced. Well, I don't know if say it's overpriced. It's just weird. Like we're getting cheap and at the wrong times and spending like I don't know. I just feel like we could have still had Dave Montgomery for less than this and signed
Yeah,
him last
a
year.
couple million,
So that
I
part I just don't get. Like, and I guess I'm a Bears fan through and through. If you guys been watching this, you know this. I ride with Justin Fields, all these guys. So I like Dave Montgomery. So when I'm thinking of spending money, I'm thinking like, why couldn't we have kept our guy who's basically as good as this guy?
well,
Um,
see, that's another thing is that Pittsburgh. You heard what I forgot what the Najee Harris said that the special teams coordinator is thinking about making Justin Fields
Jalen
a kick
Warren.
returner.
I don't know. I saw they were on like a panel, and I think it was a joke. Like the way he said it, they were. I don't know where they were, but it was a couple players sitting like getting interviewed in a panel, and Jalen Warren's like the backup running back. I guess he's like 1B, and I don't think that's. I don't like. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that's
it's
true.
true
No,
either, but
I think that's a
it's
joke. I think that was more of a joke where they're like Justin Fields is a very explosive player, regardless of like he wouldn't be the first fucking tall, black, fast quarterback that they were like, oh, he should go fucking be a tight end or a receiver or something else, running back, something else. That being said, too, Pohl said, I think it was on McAfee. It might have been a while and Sylvie said they made up their mind about Justin at the end of the season, and it's like again, that's fine if you did. And when, like I said, if you guys follow us, watch this. I said before the Packers game, if we didn't win that game, Justin Fields wasn't coming back. If we didn't either win that game or Justin throw for 300 yards, he wasn't coming back. So I knew it, but he just like bullshitted us and was like doing all this weird shit. Where like I don't want to lie to Justin, and like so I don't know. Maybe he told Justin at the beginning of the year or at the end of the season. Just weird, and it's like um if that's what you were gonna do, there was no reason
to
fake
drag it
it
out.
to drag it out unless you were really like, okay, if somebody sends me a crazy, crazy, crazy offer, well, but he just made it seem like there was no offer that anyone could have sent them if they would have taken it.
It's because
And
I don't think there was.
I don't. And after the fact, I think so. It's like I don't know. Just I think he unknowingly and probably by accident just made it more of a rift and a fight between the Bears fandom than it had to be. I think he should have just ripped the band-aid off at the beginning. I think that would have been better for everybody. Um, but I don't know if he was like a trying to do right by Justin or trying to get the best offer and it flopped. But I don't know. I just think we could have got more than that if he would have traded him earlier or locked the deal in earlier before all the quarterbacks got on teams.
Hmm. Yeah, there's I seen some things going on, on Twitter and everything else like that. There's still a lot of, and I've noticed this, right? So there's still a lot of trash talk around the Chicago Bears, and everything else like that, especially from our NFC North division foes there, the fans there. They're still, counting the Bears out, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Detroit is a really good football team. Green Bay is a playoff team.
I mean,
They're up
we
and
split
coming.
with
They're
Detroit,
a good,
so I
yeah,
mean,
they're a good young team. Um, I there was a gentleman, I forgot who it was, speaking after the draft that, legitimately said, hey, it's no longer time to make fun of the Bears because the Bears are coming. And I think that the fans of these other NFC North teams, just NFC in general, is a little, I'm not going to say scared, but it's time to recognize that if this pick hits, um, the Bears are going to be good for a long time
I mean,
because
in reality, even if it doesn't hit and he's just a above average game manager, like I said, again, I like Justin and whatever, but um, we were 7-10 with below average quarterback play and a worse team. You know, in theory, we should, even like I said, even we had an average quarterback with all the improvements we made, we're a playoff team. So if, like you said, the hype with Caleb is high, if he's anything, we're going to be a force to
well,
be reckoned with.
you say the hype with Caleb, and I completely agree with you, and that actually brings up a point that I wanna bring out and point out a little bit. I want some of these crazy fucking Bears fans we have, and we love you guys if you're watching. If you're one of these crazy Bears fans, we do love you. But let's temper expectations a little bit. I understand DJ Moore is here. I understand Keenan Allen's here. I understand that we drafted Rome Dunze. We got DeAndre Swift. We got Cole. We have a pretty loaded offense on paper. Um, let's stop with the Caleb throwing over 5,000 yards his rookie
Oh,
season.
no way.
It's not going to happen.
No.
He'll be lucky to touch 4.
I
Um,
don't think that I would be. I don't know if upset's gonna be the word, but I don't. I'm not. I would not be content with him going throwing for less than 4.
I the rookie record, obviously held by CJ Stroud. I'd be okay with, I mean, 37, 38, 3,900 yards, something like that. Because again, it's his rookie season. If he wants to break all the Bears rookie records, that's I'm perfectly content with that.
Yeah, but that's like
I'm not setting. I'm not
2,300 yards
setting.
or something like
I'm not
that
setting the bar. No, I think the rookie record or something.
for
No, the rookie
yards. It's like
record is like 20.
2,300.
It's like 2,300 yards.
Yeah,
The
and like
Bears
17.
franchise record.
It's not even. I think it's 15 touchdowns or something like that. It's not even one touchdown a game. I
No,
know that.
the Bears franchise record is 3,800, and that was set by like Eric Kramer.
Oh wow,
Um,
Cutler didn't even throw for
no,
3,800.
no.
My God.
Eric Kramer holds the record for passing yards on the season. I think Cutler holds the record for touchdowns. I'm not
Yeah, I'm pretty
positive. It
sure
might be
Cutler's
Eric.
touchdown.
It might be Eric Kramer as well. Because the Bears have no touchdown thrower in the franchise's history. Um, that's doable. If you want to talk about records and stuff like that, in terms of franchise records that Caleb can break on his first year, that 30 touchdown mark, that's very doable. Cole Kmet had what, 13 touchdowns last year alone.
I don't. I'm not even talking about records. I want him to be. I would say between top 7 and like 12. And that's just going to be 4,000 yards. Like Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff are going to throw for 4,000 yards, and they're what, like borderline top 10 guys. Like that's not like making expectations that high. He's
Yes,
generational.
but at the
We
same
have
time,
best team.
we're still going to be playing Chicago Bears football. We're still going to be
No, I
running the
don't think so.
football a lot.
I mean, I think we will run a little bit, but I don't think we're going to be playing Chicago Bears football anymore.
I think we will. If you take a look at Shane Waldron's offense is still a pretty decently run heavy offense. It's just that West Coast where that play action really comes into effect. So you'll see a lot of deep balls thrown. You'll see a lot of yak
I think we're
yardage.
going to be 50-50. I don't think it'll be
I
more run
I
game.
I think we're going to be 60-40. I really
No
do
way.
think we're going to be closer to the 60-40.
I think we should. I'm not against that. I know that's what Shane Waldron does. I just think when you get a cool new toy, and that's what the people want to see.
I
And
understand that's what the people want to see, but at the end of the day, Matt Eberflus is a very, I don't want to say stubborn. I want to say more kind of old school thinking. And Shane Waldron's the same way. Ryan Poles seems to really kind of get what they're trying to do, but at the same time, if with the weapons that you have, of course you want to throw the ball 50 times a game, but it's not going to happen.
I'm not saying 50, but I'm just saying
I
like
really
it'll
think
be like
that
35.
play action is going to be huge with everything that they have. That I mean, here's the thing: you got DJ Moore, and I really think Cole Kmet's going to eat this season because you have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Dunze. Who's going to cover Cole Kmet in the middle of the field? If you're taking the top off of a defense with those 3 guys, who's going to cover Cole
I
Kmet in
mean,
the
and
middle of the
whoever
field?
the slot guy in the middle of the field too.
Like that's
We'll see. I
insane.
mean, Cole Komet's not. I don't necessarily agree in that sense. I don't think Cole Komet's a big matchup nightmare. I just think he's a really good prototypical tight end, and I do think he'll probably do well if Caleb's more on cadence. Justin had his flaws, and he wasn't good at. I won't say he wasn't good at it, but he just wouldn't take the 3 yard right there to the tight end, let him run for another 3 yards, and keep doing that. Um, I think Caleb will. His QB coach, I forgot his name. This escapes me, but he was on.
From college or high school?
I think it's just his guy now. He's got like a personal quarterback coach. I
Oh,
think it's
okay,
like
gotcha, gotcha.
Hewitt. I believe it's Hewitt. Something. His last name's Hewitt. He was saying that Caleb is gonna thrive in a more structured NFL type passing attack, which I hope. My concern, as I'll say, is that all the stuff that we hated about Justin is how he played at USC. But he was saying that me and you're USC, got to play hero ball, and I agree with that. Um,
But I also said that at USC, Justin Fields playing hero ball when he's got 3 first-round wide receivers and absolute all-pro offensive line in front of him is a little bit different than Caleb Williams playing hero ball at USC, where his top receiver wasn't even drafted until the 7th round, and I don't think any of his offensive linemen got drafted. There's a little bit of a difference, especially because Pac-12 defenses aren't that good. So if you have a wide receiver that was drafted not until the seventh round and an offensive line that wasn't drafted at all, there's a problem there.
Yeah, I mean, they had other guys who were younger that'll probably get drafted that weren't coming out. I mean, but yeah, he didn't have that many guys. Justin, it's just a little different. Justin also, they are like Ohio State. They have all those wide receivers, and they're great and all, but they're a run first offense. You know what I mean? They run 60-40 most of the time. Like Stroud was probably their first quarterback who was like for real in the Heisman discussion without having to run for it. Um, but yeah, we'll see. It's Caleb's time now. You know what I mean? The 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 morning wake period for Justin Fields is over. He's on Pittsburgh. I wish him the best. I'll definitely be cheering for him. But I'm ready to cheer for Caleb now, and because I want the Bears to be good. The schedule hasn't been released, but the opponents have. Uh, I got them right here. Um, Home opponents: Carolina,
Win,
Detroit,
win at
Green
home.
Bay,
Mm.
Jacksonville, LA, Minnesota, New England, Seattle, Tennessee at home.
I could see 6-2 there.
That's why I'm like, again, and we do this. We did this last year with
I
Justin
know,
Fields,
I know,
and
I
then
know.
on the road we got Arizona. I mean, like we got it. We if we're not
That's a
beating
dub.
Arizona, then
Well, we
like
got
it's
the we got the third easiest strength of schedule
yeah,
this year.
Arizona, Detroit,
That's a
Green
win.
Bay, obviously. Houston, the toss-up game. I mean, Houston had a great year,
Mm,
but they're not more talented than us.
but it's at
Uh,
home. But
yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
in on Houston. Yeah,
Texans. It's
yeah.
at the Texans. That's a loss.
Well, yeah. I also say I'll just say that again. Fine, that's a loss. I'm just saying, like, just looking at the raw, we're kind of we match up well with them. Indianapolis, again,
That's
they're
a
middle of
win.
the pack. We should be able to beat them. Minnesota, they're bad.
That's a win.
And then San Francisco, obviously, we're going to lose to
That's a
them.
loss.
But we always play them good. That's a
We
surprise
do.
game. We
We do.
always play San Francisco good, no matter how good they are. We play them tight, and then Washington, that's a win. Like
That's a win.
we play,
That's
we
10,
play
that's 10
two.
or 11
We
wins.
play like four rookie court. We play Jaden Daniels. We got to beat him.
Yep.
Drake May. That's a win.
Yep.
Um, I mean, Geno Smith, we gotta beat these guys. Minnesota, I mean, that's either Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy, and I like JJ McCarthy a lot, but I mean, he's
And
not
you said
ready.
Indianapolis. I
Indianapolis,
mean,
that's
Anthony
Anthony Richardson
Richardson.
on his rookie, yeah, basically his rookie season. It's like
Yeah.
Kyler and the Cardinals, like I have a lot of optimism for that schedule. Like I'm not high on Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he had a great year. He came out like Caleb, but
Well,
you know what I
they've
mean.
got no
Right
wide
now,
receivers.
he's worse than
They've
Kirk Cousins.
they've got
No,
nobody.
that's not true. I mean, no. Well, now maybe, but last year they had
No,
Ridley and
last
Kirk.
year they had Calvin Ridley, but
Well, this
this
year
year
they
they're
got Kirk and Gabe Davis.
yeah
They're all right. Kirk's a two, a strong two. Gabe
yeah.
Davis is a
And
one.
Gabe Davis is
Ingram's
what
a good
three.
tight end, though. I mean, he's all right. But again, this is. I mean, I think I would. I mean, he had his time. Like this,
I would
sometimes.
say if you're stacking the rosters on paper and you're just doing a side by side comparison, and let's just say these wins are based on talent, right? And you're looking on paper, the Bears realistically should be a 10 or 11 win team next
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Obviously, we'll lose one we shouldn't, and we might even win one we shouldn't. But like, yeah, obviously injuries come into play and things like that, but I think Ryan Poles has built a pretty good team, and as long as Caleb Williams doesn't get hurt, we're in a good spot. We got decent
Well,
running back core. We're three to four wide receivers deep.
I'm
We
going to
got
say this right now after watching and kind of doing a little bit more research. I really think the gem of this draft for the Bears, besides obviously the two first rounders, and I know they didn't have a lot of picks, but this might be the gem of the whole draft. Come a couple years down the road, but that rookie defensive end out of Kansas State, the Austin whatever his name is
Booker.
that we drafted, yeah, um, he's amazing. I don't know
I
why
don't know about
I
him.
don't know why he didn't get drafted higher than what he did.
I think
He's a little
oh yeah,
undersized,
definitely.
but
That's why he got went late.
he like and this is me coming from a defensive lineman. I've spent time down there. I kind of know what to look for a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm a professional scout, but he's got a full arsenal of pass rush moves. I mean he may be a specialist,
That's
you
what
know what
I
I'm
would
saying,
say.
since he
Yes.
is undersized, but I can see him getting 8 sacks his rookie year. I
Oh
really
yeah,
can.
I agree. I agree with you there. I wouldn't be shocked if he had like 6 8 sacks on and only coming in on third and downs and rushing. I don't think he'll be much help in the run game, and I think that'll keep him off the field because Eberflus's defenses we're going to stop the run with these four guys too. So you're going to have to be able to set the edge, and I don't think he's ready to do that yet. He's got a young man's body still. But I do see the potential for him to be a nice little specialist, Leonard Floyd type. We've had him before, Mark Anderson, these guys who come in and they can get you 6 to 10 sacks in a season. And that's what we need. Sweat's going to get you 10. And like I said, we're Poles has built this up. I mean, maybe outside of, I would say, Sweat and Caleb Williams, I think we can handle really any injury that we get. Um, and yeah, like the schedule looks easy. We were playing all the damn rookie quarterbacks. Um, we're only really playing one of the powerhouses. Um, and we're hoping to at least be on par with Green Bay. So we say we split with them, we split with Detroit, and it's like I don't see a lot of losses on the schedule after that. I mean, even if we let's say we split with Minnesota because they play us tough, no matter who's their quarterback, that's just a tough
Yeah.
game. Even then, it's like you said, 10 wins. Like if we lose to all the teams like the Rams and the Jags who are supposedly better than us, would still give us like 10 wins. So I'm excited that and I agree with you what you were saying at the beginning of all this. So we have to temper expectations a little bit, but I don't want to do that. Like that was my that but that was my biggest gripe about getting a rookie quarterback because then everybody's gonna be like, oh well, it's a rookie. We gotta
I don't want to temper expectations for the team. I want to
yes.
temper expectations for the player
Yeah.
because we still have to. He's still a rookie quarterback going into the NFL. And this was your biggest argument all year going into this and drafting Caleb Williams was, guys, he's a rookie quarterback. CJ Strouds don't happen every year. You know what
That
I'm
is
saying?
true. Yeah, that is
So
true. I did say that. So
so expectation wise for the player, let's lower that a little bit.
yeah.
The bar for the team, though, building off of last year and then the addition of talent that we have, and even if Caleb plays at half of what we think he should as a rookie, this is still a 10-win team. You
That
have
I
to,
100% agree. And you are right. It's always
but
been my
not for the
case.
team.
But like that was again to my point. It's like that was my case. I was always saying like I don't want a rookie because I don't want this season to be one where we just say, "Oh shucks," you know what I mean? Rookie
It
quarterback.
shouldn't.
And
It
I hope
shouldn't.
so. And yeah, but you're right. When he's out there throwing interceptions and making bonehead plays, we're gonna have to remember that this guy just came from college and
Exactly, but the talent on the roster should be enough to overcome a few of those mistakes that are gonna come with a rookie quarterback. Because and that's what you've been saying all year, just like I was saying all year, that this is not your typical number one overall pick situation. This has never happened in the history of the league where a number one overall pick, a quarterback at that, not just a quarterback, any number one pick overall, has never went to a team that has been this loaded in terms of talent and wins, right?
yeah.
We always think of the number one overall pick as the guy who goes to the worst team in football because over the course of history, that's what it's always been. So that's where you get a lot of those 50-50s. A quarterback's never walked into a situation like Chicago before to where you've got two bona fide number one wide receivers. You have a guy who is touted, I guess you should say, number one wide receiver in Roma Dunze. You got a top 7 tight end in the league in Cole Kmet, and you got probably a 20 tight end in the league as your backup tight end. And realistically, I know we don't value running backs all that much, but when you take into account the combination of everything a running back should do, so pass blocking, running the football, obviously, catching balls out of the backfield, you can make the case that DeAndre Swift is in that top half echelon in the
Oh yeah, for
NFL
sure.
of NFL running backs.
I think for sure he's in the top. And I do
And the
think
and,
when
and the
healthy,
offensive line
yeah,
is
we're good.
not bad.
No,
They
when
made
healthy,
improvements at center.
and we just haven't been healthy. I think that's what's been lost in translation. Bears have had a quality core guys, but I think Jenkins, Jones, Wright, um, Davis, and I forgot who we
And
had.
I didn't know this. The tackle that they got from Yale, he's played guard.
Oh yeah, I mean they're all gonna play
So,
guard.
well, what
I
I'm
think he'll
saying
fight.
is that
Yeah,
he's gonna be, he's a good piece to have, a young, big body. I mean, he's a huge,
yes,
enormous human being. And just to have that depth on the offensive line is going to be a plus. We have a little bit of issues on the defensive line still, right? But if you're taking a look accumulatively, you got one of the best secondaries in football. You definitely have the best secondary in your division by far. Um, linebacker core is probably top 5 in the NFL, I would say, in terms of linebacker cores. And then your defensive line, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's your baseline of defense right there. You probably need some work because you have Montez Sweat, but then what else do you have besides
Yeah.
Montez Sweat? Dexter, he improved going, towards the last half of the season. Zach Pickens was still kind of stuck there in the middle. He's kind of a mid.
Yeah.
But you still need a little bit of depth on that defensive line. And then, of course, who's your other defensive end going to be? We just don't know. I mean, you would think it would be Demarcus Walker
Oh
for the
yeah.
running plays and then bring in a specialist for the pass rushing situations, but you don't know. And now there's talk that, they're possibly going to bring back Yannick Ngakoue, depending if the price tag is right.
I wouldn't
Um,
mind that, even though he doesn't like to wrap up on sacks, but
yeah, they don't have,
he's a very good specialist pass rusher.
yes.
He'll get you 8 sacks on the year. If you play him all 17. Um, so like you said, very well, and that was kind of my concern with the Roman Dunze pick. Again, I like him. He's supposed to be great, sure. I think we could have gotten by. I mean, bar like Keenan Allen has been the healthiest, but I just think we could have gotten by with what we had at the wide receivers. And but I mean, more so than wide receivers, you can do pass rush by committee. Um, so if the coaching's there, these guys were obviously supposed to be taking one more step on the Pickens, Dexter. Hopefully, maybe June 1st cuts will get somebody, a veteran, to get put out there. Yannick maybe come back. Should be okay. And if Caleb is doing his job and getting third down conversions and running the ball, the defense is very good when they're rested.
Yes.
So,
I liked his comment that he sent, the text message that he sent to Torrey Taylor, the punter we drafted in the fourth round, about,
yeah.
hey, you're not going to be punting a lot here. I like the confidence. Let's not get arrogant. Let's not get cocky. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he's kind of got that swag about him that you just like, especially in a big city like
Yes,
Chicago.
he has been very likable, and I was worried about that. Um, Again, him being at USC and all this other stuff. I just didn't get to see him, and I was worried. He was giving vibes. That's what the reports were. But he
We all
seems
fell for it.
he seems anything but that. He seems like a real personable kid, and you need to be here.
I
Uh,
wish they sold tickets to rookie minicamp, man. That'd be fucking
it'd be
amazing.
sold out. Everybody be there.
That'd
Bears
be
fans
amazing.
are beating down the door. But all right. Any other? Oh, well, Bulls suck.
Yes.
Levine. So hopefully he'll be traded. Ball's healthy. They'll say he should be ready. He picked up his option today. Um, Possibly one of the worst signings. I don't know. Basketball is so weird to me. Like I understand that. Well, I just don't get how these contracts are so guaranteed. Like there's real. So in my head, there's like no incentive for them to like get healthy. Like why would you get
No.
healthy? Like why? Like oh, I get to stay at home and make $30 million a year.
How good is Jalen Brunson?
Oh man,
Oh
he's
my
from Illinois,
God.
right? He
Huh?
was Mr. Basketball in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it was amazing. These playoffs have been pretty good, even though I was just uh I was just reading something that freaking Kyrie Irving's the oldest like star left in the class, like the changing the guard. Um, all the old guys are out. Durant, LeBron, Curry. You know what I mean? They all got Booker, even all the older guys. Yeah, Giannis, even Lillard. Like
Yep.
it's a new era, and then Minnesota beat the Nuggets tonight. And Anthony
Yeah.
Edwards out
And
there trying
Anthony
to take
Edwards
over the
is
Michael Jordan mantle.
he's
He
a
was out
stud.
there. Yeah, he was out there. He looked like Kobe and MJ tonight. He was hitting
He is a
middies.
stud. Jalen
Um,
Brunson is the most criminally underpaid player in the NBA right now with what he's
yeah,
doing. He's a top 5 player in the world right now, in my opinion. He's
I don't know about
fantastic.
that. I don't know about
Oh,
that, but
absolutely.
well, he's to me. I don't think you can be top five. If you're not two way. Maybe except for Luca. I don't know. Because Luca rebounds, so I would count him. He's kind of two way. But Jalen's just too little to be impacting it. But he is amazing. Like he has been, like you said, underrated, underpaid. What he's done is just wild, and I'm sure the Knicks are loving it. But regardless, they're about to get there. They're not going to go too far. Like they're not beating Boston. So.
No,
Uh,
that's the thing is Boston's a juggernaut, and
yeah, they're
it's
not.
just
Yeah,
that's very tough. I mean, they don't even match up well with them because Boston, I don't even know. Boston's like in a whole other
and they got
category.
Drew Holiday, and obviously you're not going to shut Brunson down, but it's going to be rough. But we'll see. Oh man, how long till the Bulls are back there? I don't know what they're gonna do. Zach LaVine, maybe for Trey Young. Like I know Trey Young's gonna be out there, but I don't. I think that's just a different. Fine, we get Trey Young, and we're
There's
like
a lot of Trey
this.
Young to the Lakers talk too,
I don't
and I
know.
just
I don't think
uh,
that doesn't work because I mean, unless LeBron's leaving, they both want to dribble the whole game. Like I don't think that
uh,
works.
nobody
Maybe
knows. They
Dejounte Murray
were
would be better.
there was talk. There was somebody said something about. I think it was on Cap and J Hood. Um,
Honestly, I
Shane Larkin.
haven't been watching Cap and J. Ever since he said that shit
Oh,
about Justin Fields,
Shay,
I haven't watched. And I used to listen every single morning. And I really like. I want to call in and fucking cuss Cap out and tell like that really rubbed me
well,
the wrong way.
it's a question because obviously Bronny James, is going to be in this draft, and he asked if the Bulls have, obviously they have a lottery pick. They have their own first round pick this year. He asked the question that if there was a guarantee that LeBron James would come to Chicago if they picked Bronny James with a lottery pick, would you do it if you were the Bulls front office? And that set off like a whole big argument.
That's weird
Uh,
because Bulls fans hate LeBron, and I'm a LeBron hater too. But what I'll say to answer that question is yes, 100%. There's nobody that good. Um, I've always been a proponent the Bulls need to go out and get a free agent. I think LeBron before he retires, I think he wants to go play in either Chicago, New York, because those are like the only other two fan bases who like don't fuck with him. He already went to the Lakers. You know what I mean? He didn't win over all the Kobe fans, but he won over some of them. He got him a championship. He played there for a little while. I think he would want to go, and I would. It's like fine, maybe he's opting out. Maybe you do a signing trade. You send them. Maybe they'll help facilitate. You send them fucking Levine and Io or somebody, and you know what I mean. You get LeBron back. But I would do it if there was a 20%, 25% chance LeBron does it. Why not? This year's draft is weak. It's very weak. I would either trade out of it or like I said, why not get Bronny? And I'm of the proponent Bronny sucks.
yeah, he is
No,
not
no,
NBA ready.
yeah, he's definitely not gonna be ready. I think he will be at some point because it's pedigree.
Well,
Um,
do you think maybe then it's like a Giannis situation where you pick him 14th overall and you
I'll
just
be honest with you. I think he's better than. You're talking about like groom him like Giannis. Yes, it would have to
yes.
be something, but I don't think he'll ever be Giannis. You'd be grooming him to be
No.
like Io DeSumo. Like I think that's like his ceiling, like being Io, like his, and
Well,
which
what
isn't
I
bad. That's a
mean,
quality NBA player who can average, 10 points, 3 and 3 and 3, and you know what I mean, play some quality minutes off the bench. But I mean, his other son is really good, and I think he is going to be an NBA star, Bryce. Um, for to like me, if I'm Bronny, like you're gonna make more money in college. You don't live in your fucking dad's shadow. It's just like find a college that's gonna let you play a lot and go there. They're gonna pay you five. He was like I'm pretty sure he was the highest paid, maybe the second highest to Caitlin Clark paid NIL player, and he
college
was
basketball player.
yeah, not just sports in general, even football, like
I
more than
think
any.
Wasn't Caleb up there too?
Yeah, Caleb was up there, but Bronny was above Caleb. It was like I think Caitlin Clark was one. It was like Archie Manning and Bronny, and or Bronny then Archie Manning and Caleb's up there too. It's like I would stay there for a little while. You make freaking 25 mil, but even if you're a first round pick in the NBA, it's less than that. And again, like being the NBA, like being LeBron's son, people are gonna want to. I mean, they already want to do in high school and college, but they're just gonna want to embarrass you. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
the NBA
You got
players
a
are gonna
target on your
do it.
back.
Yeah. But if I was the Bulls, 100%, I would do that. If Braun gave any strong indication that yeah, I come to Chicago if you guys got my son, yeah, I'd do it. And it's like you get 2 years away. Like the ticket sales alone, and so like the jerseys you're gonna sell, I mean, I guess the Bulls sell out anytime, but you can raise ticket prices. You're gonna go to the playoffs for a round or two. Like, um, yes, to answer it, yes.
Are they better than a play-in team?
With LeBron, I guess I would have to know how. Guess just what inserting LeBron and say what you lose Levine and one of the guys. Yes, I think they're maybe no. I think they're playing. Maybe they'll be a playing team, but they would win the playing and make them like be in the actual playoffs. I mean, the East is not as weak as it used to be.
No.
Um, but I think still that I mean, as you saw, LeBron was on the Lakers with AD, and they were a playing team. And AD and LeBron played a lot this year. I think they played more this year than they have ever than when he's been on. They were, and the West is tough, and but like I said, East no punk either, but that would be good. Like I think that works. A couple years ago when Russ was a free agent, I thought the Bulls should have went and got him when he went to the Rockets. I was like, they're not properly ran. Like the Bulls have never drafted well anyway. Like the only what was a good draft pick? Jimmy Butler. Can't even say Derrick Rose. That was a fucking slam dunk. He was the best college player, and you had the number one pick, and he was
Joe
from
Kim,
I
Noah.
guess
As much as I
yeah
criticize that pick,
yeah I
Noah
remember
wasn't
that.
a bad
That's
pick.
funny. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh my
but yeah,
God, I
Joe
hated
Kim.
that pick.
But
Um,
I think that was more
Heinrich,
Tibbs.
I mean, Kirk Heinrich wasn't a
It's
bad pick.
okay.
He played for a
I
lot
don't
of
think it
years
was.
and he was
Yeah, I just think he
serviceable.
was a solid basketball player. I don't think he was anything good. But again, like I'm not saying every player was bad. I'm just saying like really none of outside of Jimmy Butler and like I guess Joe Cano was borderline superstar. Like did anybody ever but like all the guys they got? Like you got to trade for some of these guys. Like that's just how the NBA works now, and they got to make a move. You did it with Levine. It didn't work. You got to do it again. I mean, you got to figure it out. Jimmy Butler will be a free agent, I think. Paul George, a couple guys. You got to make a move. I don't know who wants to come to Chicago, but we'll see. But all right. I was talking to Tom before this. We might do one. We'll at rookie mini camp's exciting. If there's news, we'll do one more episode, and then after that, we'll take a break till training camp starts. Kind of what we did last year. Take a little hiatus. Not much to talk about except for what game Caleb's at and what color he's going to paint his nails. But all right, like, follow, subscribe. I'm going to start saying that more often. Yes, please comment, do all that good stuff, and I will see you next week, buddy.
I'll see you next week.